Right now, Mel! What's up?
Really loud.
Yeah, that was probably super loud. I'm sorry for piercing all your ears. For anybody that is wearing AirPods, I apologize.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
welcome to virtual youth group. Hopefully our last one for a long time. So that is my that's my goal, because I miss you guys. I miss all your faces. We have some special guests with us tonight. We have Curtis. Actually, we liked Curtis enough that we brought him back a second time. He didn't break anything, and so Curtis is back with his banana mask. Back here we have Caden Carnes, and we have his brother Asher. So they're all going to be helping us out with what we're doing today. You guys know us. I'm Nick, and she is
Kenzie.
Kenzie.
Not Michaela.
So we have some awesome stuff planned for you guys as we're waiting on a couple more people to get in. Preston is at practice right now, and so unfortunately Preston is not here tonight. It's a sad day. But Melody said that scared her. Yes, we accomplished the goal. So before we get started, as we're waiting on a couple more people in, we just have one icebreaker question that we want to ask you guys as a chat. We want to know, who would you rather have to take care of or care for or have as a pet? I don't know what you would actually call this. Would you rather have baby Groot or baby Yoda? If you had to choose one of the two of those to watch after, to care for I don't know, a long time, which one of those are you choosing?
Yeah, as a baby.
Yeah. Choose your fighter. So you got to raise it from a baby to I don't know how old.
I can't raise a plant. You think I'm gonna be able to raise one of those?
So you're not choosing any of those. That's true.
I'll take the pot that Groot grows in.
Tegan says Yoda. What do you think, Kenzie?
I have a favor for Groot. I gotta go Groot. Groot's awesome.
Yoda, because he could get me stuff.
Yeah.
What
do you think, Asher? Yoda. Yeah, I gotta go with Yoda. Groot's super cute, but Yoda, he uses the Force and he does all kind of cool stuff. So
I feel better about a parent.
Yoda's not cute?
I mean, he is cute. I take that back.
Baby Yoda, I mean.
I feel better as a parent because my child lived very long.
Yo, Lila said they're both kind of creepy and ugly? What?
You're no longer allowed to
Baby Groot and Baby Yoda are not ugly or creepy. Yeah, Grogu, Shyla coming through with his actual name. It is Grogu, for those of you that don't know. Oh, Tegan, sorry. Well, Tegan kind of might have spelled it wrong, maybe. I think Tegan spelled it wrong. We're going to give the correct spelling to Shyla.
Thank you, Maya. I agree with you.
I mean, I'm not saying that Baby Groot isn't adorable. When he dances and everything, he's super cute. But Yoda uses the Force. So, like Caden said, listen, man, you get some stuff accomplished with Yoda.
That's true.
Although he does kind of eat everything. So, all right. Before we get into the evening, these gentlemen are going to bring you guys a couple of amazing announcements that we have coming up. So I don't know which one of you guys is starting, but why don't you guys hit them with the first announcement, whoever that is.
So next week we will be in person in the youth room for youth group.
Woo!
Let's go!
Yeah.
What time?
7, I think.
6:30.
Close enough. 6:30. Don't go by what I said.
6:30 is when open gym starts. So 7 o'clock actually youth group will start. So you weren't incorrect, and I also didn't tell you the time. So you got it right. Good job. Next up is
Tomorrow on Zoom, there's a Bible study at 4:30, and the code will be sent to your parents.
Yes, so we're going to send out a parent email for the first time ever. We're doing an online Bible study. If you saw the video we put on Instagram just a couple of days ago, we are going through the book of John together as a youth group, and that's actually our series starting tonight, and we're going to walk through that for the next 4 weeks. We've been putting up a reading plan based on the book of John every day, and so there's been a chapter a day. So for those of you that have been following along, join us for the Bible study. We'll be talking about John, talking about the first 5 chapters of it. And so if you haven't read the first 5 chapters, you can still show up. You just might not have much to contribute, but it'd still be cool for you to hang out. But we'll kind of talk about things that stuck out to us, things that God spoke to us about, and it's going to be awesome. So that is it. Again, that email will be sent out to your parents tomorrow at 4:30 on Zoom, and that may be in the future in person, but we're not 100% Sure, yeah. What's up to everybody who has hopped in? Siler is in the house. What's up,
Wow,
Siler?
yeah,
Also,
Mayo.
Mayo. I don't know if Mayo has been here or, but Mayo woke up and chose violence today, apparently.
Wow.
So he's burning Groot and he's eating Grogu. Okay,
Where
so
is it? Where's what? Where is youth group?
youth group
Youth
next
group
week
and
is
youth
at the
group.
church. Next week, youth group will be here in person. The Bible study is virtual. It's online. So that's why we're saying that the Bible study is on Zoom. And you guys, your parents will receive an email about that tonight. So here's what's going to happen the rest of the night. So we have behind us a beautiful layout of tarp on the ground. And maybe some of you are familiar with this layout because we've actually done what we're going to do tonight before. We're just ramping it up. We think we have an actual better version of what we've done before. So we're going to play a game in a little bit called Will It Break? And so what we're going to do is we have a number of items, actually 15, I think, right? 15 items?
15 on the dot.
15 items that we're going to drop from the balcony. Actually, these guys are going to drop them. We're not going to drop them. We're just going to sit here and watch in the splash zone. They're going to drop them from the balcony, and you guys in the chat are going to decide whether you think each item is going to break or whether you think they are not going to break. And so we're not going to show you all those items yet, but we will give you a quick sneak preview. So if my trusty assistants will quick grab the items I have told them to grab, just to show you guys that is not the item I told you to grab. Nope. Nope. That the big one right there. Yep. Curtis pointing to it. Careful, it's heavy.
Careful.
It is heavy. We don't want to break it beforehand. So one of the items we're going to be dropping is a broken in the sense that it doesn't work anymore. We are dropping a PS3. It is in one piece, but it does not work. And so if you've ever wondered, like, man, does my PlayStation break? We're going to find out today.
Yes, sir.
We are also going to be dropping a computer tower, kind of facing to the front for him. So this is like a legitimate computer tower. The computer also does not work anymore, but it is in one piece. This boy is hefty and heavy. And so if you've ever wondered, like, man, what happens if I drop my computer from 15 feet up? You're going to find out today. And we got a lot of other items and quite a few other cool items as well. So that's going to be exciting. And yeah, as Siler said, and such eloquent wording, they're going to go boom, boom, baby. They're going to go boom, boom.
Go, boom.
Now, I'm just so pumped. They accidentally dropped my PS3 from 15 feet. I was just trying to play it on my roof, and it just fell. And I don't know
Yeah,
how
so if that
happened.
situation ever pops up, you'll know if your PS3 will survive it or not.
Exactly.
So that being said, we're going to actually we're going to switch up the flow of the service a little bit. So normally we do the activity first, and then we finish with the message. We're going to flip it. So we're going to do the message first, and then we are going to do the activity after. And so I'm going to let these guys take a seat. They're going to be my special audience here today. Shout out to Ledger. What's up? Please drop that piece of crap PS4. I'm assuming you're an Xbox guy. Shout out. Oh, yeah, PS3. We would not drop a PS5. I'm pretty sure I can take my mask off now. They're not near me, and it's way too hot in that. I'm pretty sure I'd get arrested if I actually dropped a PS5, and so we're not going to do that. Either that or someone would just hunt me down. These things are way more expensive than the last time. Yes, that's why it's so much better. Like, haven't you ever just wanted to take something big and heavy and expensive and drop it to see if it would break? Like, that is 100% what we're doing. Although we actually paid way less this time. We didn't pay a lot last time, but we paid way less this time for the items we have because most of them were just being thrown away and they were free. So we got some pretty unique ones. I think from top to bottom, the lineup is way better than it was last time. Shout out again to everybody who is in the chat. We appreciate and love you guys. So excited that you guys are with us. So that being said, we are going to start the message for tonight. So the title of my message is Identity Crisis. I got to actually check and make sure that I'm centered. Am I centered? I'm centered a little bit. Here we go. I think I'm good. All right. The title of my message tonight is called Identity Crisis. And so I have a question for you guys. We're going to start off with some chat interaction. So feel free to interact in the chat. I'm going to ask you a question here in a second. So I want to know your guys' opinion. What do you guys think happens when you believe something to be true about your identity? I know this is a very open question, very general question, but it's kind of meant to be that way. But what happens if you or someone you know believes something to be true about their identity? Anything. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, this could go everywhere, and I'm not going to go deeply into it yet because that's what I'm going to do in a second. But I'm just curious as to some of your guys' thoughts in the chat. What do you think happens to someone when they believe something about their identity? Some of you guys that are watching, what do you guys think? What happens to someone when they believe something to be true about their identity? Mayo says I get insecure. That's a good answer. You can believe certain things about yourself and it makes you insecure. That's a really good answer. Thanks for being honest, Mayo. That was good, bro. What do you guys think? Is Curtis even back there? Curtis is back there. Y'all are all on your phones. You don't even know what I asked, do you?
No, I'm trying to watch
You asked what do you think?
I want to see the comments. Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to think. Oh, you like get absorbed in that. Like, but
Okay. Yeah. It kind of overtakes you. It consumes you. That's a good. Okay, you were paying attention. All right, Caden. That is a good answer. Yeah. So I kind of wrap my main idea around this. Shyla kind of agrees with what either Mayo or Caden said. I'm not sure which one she agrees with, but both were good. So my main idea for tonight is wrapped around this statement. I wish I'd actually got text for it and put it up on the screen because I think it's super good. But my main idea is this, that our belief in our identity determines our behavior. Our belief in our identity determines our behavior. Maya says, I get sad and I worry. That is definitely super relatable. There are definitely things that you can believe about yourself, believe about your identity that can make you sad. People fall into depression all the time because of things that they believe about themselves that aren't true. And yet, for us as human beings, this issue of identity is such an important one because what we believe about our identity determines our behavior. I actually had a video that I was really excited to show you guys, and then some of you guys actually caught it. You came in the test stream like 10 minutes ago, and I realized the video does not work, and so there's no video. But it was a video of a sheep and some dogs, and they all like lived on this farm together, and the sheep had been around the dogs for so long that the sheep started to act like a dog, and it would run around like a dog, it would hop, it would skip like a dog. Normally sheep just kind of stay still, they don't really do much, and this sheep was like jumping around, kicking its legs high and playing with the dogs, and it had been around them for so long, it had this mistaken identity about itself, believing it was actually a dog. Because at the end of the day, and for us as humans, like that's a silly analogy, but at the end of the day, our belief about our identity determines our behavior. And I want you guys to notice something notice I said our belief about our identity and not strictly our identity. Because as Christians, there's so many amazing things about being a Christian. One of the most amazing things, though, is that as a Christian, our identity is set. Like it is set in stone. That's not something that can change. That's not something that changes from day to day depending on the season that you're in or depending on how good you've been in your time with God. It's not something that changes depending on how many friends you have or how liked you are or how unliked you are. Like your identity as a Christian is set. It is solid. It is immovable. And yet I think so many Christians today have an identity crisis. So many Christians today, like some of you guys said, get so wrapped up in identities that they believe about themselves that aren't actually true. And as a result, like Caden said, it consumes them. It literally consumes everything that they do. It consumes how they think. It consumes how they act. And I think there are a lot of people right now who are truly Christians. Like I believe they are followers of Christ. I believe that if they would die today, they would go to heaven. Hopefully it doesn't happen now. But I believe that there are true Christians that have an identity crisis. I don't want to get this misconstrued and have you guys hear me and think that, oh, well, if I have this false idea about my identity, I'm not a Christian. Because that's not the case. Your identity is still set, but we just need you to believe it. And I need to take a drink of water because I can feel some Chipotle that's stuck in my throat. Hold on. Piece of rice just floating around in there. It was. Or social media. Yeah. Tegan with a great point. Social media is something that, especially now, man, you talk about the world of TikTok, you talk about the world of Instagram, and where there's so much popularity to be gained and just so much stock that's put in social media, people so often find their identity, especially your guys' age. Like you guys are at the like the time in your life and a time in history more than ever where people are putting their identity in social media because it is so widespread and it is so easy to get noticed. And so people are putting their identity in things and are becoming consumed by it. And I firmly believe that the problems that our world faces today, right? I mean, you guys aren't blind to this. You guys have seen a lot of the stuff that's going on in the world. There's a lot of mess happening in the world, right? Like there's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of crap. There's a lot of depressing stuff that's going on in the world. And I firmly believe that a lot of the problems our world faces today would be greatly helped if Christians lived true to their identity. I want you guys to see that I want you guys to see why this is an important issue, like why this is something that is so important for us to understand, it's so important for us to grasp what our identity is and where our identity lies. And I think that so many problems would be helped if we actually understood our identity. And this is just one example, and I'm going to give a couple more, but I just felt kind of compelled to talk about this because it's really relevant right now with what's going on. And so I'm going to be honest. This might be a hard truth for some people to hear in a second, but that's okay because God calls us to be bold, right? God doesn't call us to shy away. He doesn't call us to suppress the truth. That doesn't mean we speak it harshly, but it does mean that we speak it. And so I believe that we have a lot of Christians, and I know this because I see it, that there are a lot of Christians right now who have their identity, or they believe that their identity is rooted in politics or politicians or political parties or or their country, right? People who like are more about the United States of America than they are about Jesus and the kingdom of God. Like there are a lot of Christians that are wrestling with that right now. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I haven't got caught up in that at times as well, because it's so easy. It's again, especially when we have social media and you have the ability to just pull out your phone and you can instantly access any news and you can instantly find information. It is so easy for us to root our identity or believe that our identity is rooted in things like politicians and political parties. And here's the thing. The worst part about it is, and this is what I see all over, and I see this with students, I see this with adults, the worst part about it is that a lot of people don't realize or acknowledge that it's a problem. There are a lot of people that I've talked with. There are people that I've seen just spoken to about this stuff before, and someone's maybe called them out or said in a general way like, hey, I think maybe this is an issue. I think maybe you're putting a little too much emphasis on this. Like maybe you're idolizing this a little bit. And some people just straight up won't acknowledge that it's actually an issue. Like, no, I'm doing what God wants me to do. Like I'm saying what God wants me to say. And the problem that we're having in our country is we can't fix something if people don't admit it's broken, right? You can't fix something that you don't admit is actually broken. And again, people truly believe with this kind of stuff. And this is the way it is with identity a lot of times. They get sucked into believing that that is actually what's important in their life, that that's actually what the priority should be. And guys, I got to be completely honest with you here. God doesn't care about our politics. And I know for some people might like jump out of their seat and they're like, wait, hold on. And they might have an argument about it, but I'm going to be 100% real with you. God does not care about our politics. God does not care about who's in office. And I don't say that in the sense that like God doesn't want to see them be saved, because he does. But he doesn't care about politics like we care about politics. And if you really want to see proof, read through the Old Testament, read through the New Testament, and read about and see some of the kings that God allowed to rise to power throughout just the duration of history, and see some of the like terrible kings and terrible people that actually rose to power. And I'm not saying that's what's happening now or what has happened, because again, I'm not trying to get political about it. I'm just trying to put things into perspective, into a kingdom perspective. But at the end of the day, like God cares about people after his own heart. He doesn't care about the politics, but he wants people to follow him. When you read through the New Testament, there was an emperor, his name was Nero. And this was right when the church first began to really flourish. So probably about 2 decades after Jesus died, right? Jesus died on the cross. He lived about 33 years, died on the cross, rose again from the grave, and then he ascended up into heaven. And so about 2 decades after that, this guy named Nero came into power. And this guy was like this power-hungry dictator emperor. And one of his main goals as emperor was to persecute and kill Christians. And he wanted to get rid of Christianity. Like one of his goals was to completely wipe out Christianity. And so this is some of the stuff he did. Listen to this. This is a guy that was allowed in power, right? Because God ordains everything. God has control of everything. God oversees everything. Like, listen to this guy. This guy killed Christians by having dogs literally tear them apart. So imagine dying in that way. Crucifying them, just as Jesus was, and burning them alive. And he even had a reputation for using Christians as literal human torches. Like, he would have parties in his garden and actually have like people burning alive. And like, that was a torch. Like, this is how deranged this guy was. And yet he was in power at a time when Christianity existed. And then there's this guy named Nebuchadnezzar in the Old Testament. This king rose to power and literally captured and enslaved the people of Israel and actually pulled them away from their home for a long time. And then eventually they were released and they were able to go back to their home in Israel. So this notion that we have to, like this candidate has to be the one because he seems to be the one that's the most in line with this value or this value, like that's just false. And you don't see that in Scripture because, again, God is worried about our hearts. And God is worried about people after his heart. And I got to be honest, guys. Maybe we need to be uncomfortable. Some Christians are so worried about their comfort, and they're so worried about, like, well, man, what if I can't do this? Or what if they censor us? Or what if this, or this? Like, maybe we need to be uncomfortable because maybe once we're uncomfortable as Christians, we'll finally start to speak and live boldly for once. Because right now I see a lot of things going on in the world that I feel like as Christians we should be on the front lines for. And there are a lot of people who are just silent and almost like afraid, or they don't know what to say. And I think God is calling us as Christians to be the light and be the presence of unity. And yet we're not in a lot of ways. And so that was a little bit of a sidetrack. But my whole point in that is that there are some people, a lot of people who are finding their identity in things like that. And it's hurting us because I know personally multiple people, like I could tell you the stories of multiple people that I've sat down with and talked with that have literally walked away from the church because of the hurt that they've experienced, because of how angry some Christians have gotten over the issues of politics and politicians and things like that. And can I just tell you that if we have people walking away from the church because they have been like hated and they have been like people have been nasty to them about politics, we have an identity crisis. Like that is the definition of identity crisis, and we're finding it in the wrong things. And an identity crisis happens with anything, right? When we put our identity in popularity, we can become consumed with how other people view us. We can become consumed with the fear of man and always wondering, like, man, is someone going to like me if I do this? Or is this going to make people not like me? And then that can affect our Christianity and how we live it out, right? Because if we think that things we do as Christians or things we're called to do is going to make people not like us, we're probably not going to do that because we're afraid and we want to remain popular. And that can, like Caden said, I should let Caden come up here and preach, man, because he had a good word. But that can consume us. And again, as I said in the main idea, our belief in our identity determines our behavior. With sports and activities, again, these are great things, but when we become consumed by it, when our identity is found in us as an athlete or as a musician or whatever it is, and if that's the way you view yourself, like, hey, I'm Nick the basketball player and not Nick the Christ follower, that becomes a problem because now the priority isn't God, the priority is your sport or it's your activity or whatever it is that you're passionate about. Again, good things, but we got to have them in the right perspective, because if we don't, we get an identity crisis and that affects how we behave. And I firmly believe that God calls us to something greater. And I believe as Christians that when we find our identity in the right thing or the right person, that's when we have the power to change the world. And that's when, like literally at a time when so much of the world, so much of our schools, so much of our communities are at each other's throats, and there's just a lot of desperation, and there's a lot of sadness, and there's a lot of depression, and there's a lot of chaos, we can be the one area of shining light and positivity and encouragement and love That's us as a church. That's our calling, but I don't think we're living it out, and we can. So tonight, what I want to finish by looking at is a passage in the book of John. So like I said at the beginning here, we are in a series for the next 4 weeks reading through the book of John. If you're unfamiliar with John, John is actually one of the 4 gospel accounts or 4 written accounts of Jesus' life. And we're just walking through day by day each chapter in the book of John. And so tonight I'm preaching from John 3, which was one of the chapters we read this week. I believe John 3 was yesterday. And so I'm going to read from a passage in John 3 that addresses this issue of identity and talk a little bit about it, and then talk about what it is that we can do with what it is that we've learned and what it is that God's speaking to us about. So if you guys have your Bibles, or if you have your Bible app like I do, got my phone here, got my Bible app on my phone, turn to John chapter 3, and we are going to look at verses 22 through 30. So John chapter 3, verses 22 through 30. And so at this point, at the beginning of John here, there are a couple of main characters that we're introduced to. There's a guy named John the Baptist, and John the Baptist was this kind of like weird guy who, it says he dressed weird. It says he ate locusts. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen a locust, but like, if any of you guys ever seen a locust? Like, those things are disgusting, right? Like they're kind of creepy looking. They're so gross, and they're huge, and they're nasty. And I remember one time we were in my garage, and a locust like flew in, and it ran into the wall so hard, I think it hurt itself, and it started like screeching, like this ear piercing. Like they're weird, creepy bugs, man. And this guy John the Baptist, he ate locusts. And he like dressed super strange, and people just kind of like, man, this guy was kind of weird. But the one thing that he did is he baptized people, and he also talked about the coming Messiah, who we know is Jesus. They didn't know that at the time, but he would constantly talk about like, hey, this guy, this Messiah, like he's on his way. I don't know where he is, but he's coming, and he's coming soon. And then we're also obviously introduced to Jesus. Jesus is beginning to call his disciples to himself. He's beginning to start his ministry, and that's kind of where we find ourselves in John chapter 3. Another drink of water because that rice has not gone away. How y'all doing? Y'all good? Yeah. Y'all chilling? Caden looks super comfortable, man. He's made a couch out of some chairs, and he just looks, and now he about fell over and is no longer comfortable. All right. John chapter 3, we're going to start with verse 22, all right? It says, after this, Jesus and his disciples went out into the Judean countryside, where he spent some time with them and baptized. So Jesus, they baptize. Now John was also baptizing at, here's a weird word, and I don't know how to pronounce it, so we're going to take our best guess. Aenon, near Salim. I got that right. Don't Google that. Because there was plenty of water, and people were coming and being baptized. This was before John was put in prison. An argument developed between some of John's disciples and a certain Jew over the matter of ceremonial washing. They came to John and they said to him, Rabbi, that man who is with you on the other side of the Jordan, the one you testified about, they're talking about Jesus here, look, he is baptizing and everyone's going to him. To this John replied, a person can receive only what is given to them from heaven. You yourselves can testify that I said, I am not the Messiah, but am sent ahead of him. The bride belongs to the bridegroom. The friend who attends the bridegroom waits and listens for him and is full of joy when he hears the bridegroom's voice. That joy is mine and is now complete. He must become greater. I must become less. And so what we see here in this passage is that John obviously had this reputation built up as being this guy that baptized people. And when people wanted to be baptized, John's the guy you call. Just like I'm sure your family has certain people, like when you need something done, like there are certain people you go to, or when you guys have people in your lives that when you have a certain conversation you need to have or a certain question that you need to ask, like there are certain people that you go to. If you need to baptize, John was your guy. All of a sudden, Jesus comes along, and Jesus starts baptizing, and people start kind of going away from John, and they start going to Jesus and being baptized by Jesus. And John's disciples, they actually took offense to this. Like they saw that these people were leaving them, and they're kind of like, yo, wait a minute, like those were our people. like we should be baptizing them, and now he's baptizing them and not us. And what happened is his disciples were so focused on their identity as baptizers that they were focused on what they didn't have or what they were losing, right? We can do that a lot ourselves. We can do that if we wrap our identity up in things like just anything material, right? Clothing or just stuff that we want. And we get so caught up and wrapped up in having to have things. And when we don't have something, it just drives us nuts. And or when we see that someone on the team is taking the position that maybe you felt like was supposed to be for you, and it's crushing you and it's consuming you, and like, wait a minute, that's actually supposed to be me, not them. Or maybe someone that you were friends with is now becoming friends with someone else, and now there's a little jealousy, and you're like, hey, wait a minute, like you were my friend, and now you're friends with them too, and you've kind of like left me behind a little bit. And we can just, you guys see how this can creep up into every area of our lives. And for John's disciples, their identity was in their baptizing people. And so when Jesus started doing that, they're like, hold on, what's going on here? And I love the way John addresses this. He addresses it immediately when they come to him. They're like, hey, dude, that Jesus guy, Jesus, like he's taking all your people. John immediately says this in verse 27. He says, a person can only receive what is given to them from heaven. And what that means, what he's saying there is that, listen, guys, I was only baptizing because God had given me that gift. Like if it wasn't for God giving me the gift of baptizing people, I would have never been doing it in the first place. And so it's not my gift to sit here and hog. If God decides he wants to do something else, he can do something else because he's the one who gave the gift in the first place, right? And I think this is a word for us. I know it's a word for me, and I have to constantly remind myself of the fact that, all right, you guys missed it, but Caden did the little thing. Y'all have done it in school where you lean back a little too far in that chair, and then you have that moment where you think you're going to die because it goes back too far, and you got to like quick whip up and catch yourself. He just had that, and I really wish he was sitting behind me so you guys could have seen it. It was great. But I think we have this problem. I know I do at times where I can forget that the gifts, the talents, the passions that God has given me aren't actually mine. Like they're not mine to just do whatever it is I want with them, even though I might think that it's just all me, right? I might think that, oh my gosh, I put in all this hard work, so man, glory to me, like I'm awesome, I'm amazing. And yet at the end of the day, my gifts and talents aren't for me. They're for God. And that's what John realized. John was like, listen, my baptizing, that's not to build me up. No. That's for God. And so he follows that up when he says a person can only receive what's given to them from heaven. He follows it up with my favorite verse. This is, fun fact, my actual favorite verse in the entire Bible. It is John 3:30, which just says, he must become greater, I must become less. For those of you guys that are math nerds, you can turn this into a formula. He is greater than me. At the end of the day, like that is what sums up our life. That's what sums up our identity, that he must become greater and I must become less. Jesus must become greater. Jesus must become famous. Nick, I don't need to be all that. Because at the end of the day, it's about me pointing people to him. At the end of the day, my gifts and my talents and my abilities, like the ability that I have to speak, like that's not for me. Like that's for God. And the ability that you have maybe to sing, or the ability that you have to put a ball in a hoop, or the ability you have to do art, like all that stuff, again, it's great. But it's for God. Like our identity becomes wrapped up in it when we start to use it for ourselves and we forget that, wait a minute, he must become greater, I must become less. And John, he understood this. He understood that his identity wasn't found in his baptizing. He understood that his identity was found in Christ. And that his mission in life was to point people to Jesus. That's what he understood. And that's how our identity can affect everything. Because for John, he knew it's all about Jesus. It's all about him. When you read through the first couple chapters of John, all he's doing is telling people about Jesus. People keep trying to gas him up, and they're like, hey, aren't you the guy we've been hearing about? Hey, aren't you the Messiah? Hey, aren't you this or aren't you that? And every time he's like, no, not me. But there's a guy that's coming, and he's going to be awesome, but not me. because he understood his identity. He understood he was in Christ. He was a child of God. And as a result, his mission was to point people to Jesus. John's belief in his identity determined his behavior. And so what I want to finish with tonight for just a couple more minutes is just looking at the application of this, right? Like, okay, we understand that our identity is like, that's important. We understand that it needs to be in Christ. We understand all this. Well, like what do we do with it? And so the first thing is we just need to believe the truth about our identity. First and foremost, you cannot act on your identity until you actually believe what it is. And the enemy, I promise you this because I've been in ministry long enough, I've been around people long enough to know that the enemy can completely derail your life as a Christian. He can completely derail your mission if he can get you to believe a lie about your identity. If he can get you to believe that popularity is the most important thing in your life, and that's what you're like, you need to be popular, and if you're not, you need to freak out because something's wrong with you as a person. If he can get you to believe that, he has derailed your mission as a Christian. If he can get you to believe that your sport or your activity is the most important thing in your life, and that God needs to be put on the back burner during sports season, which happens a lot, right? Because I understand like busyness happens, but if the enemy can get you to believe like, hey, it's okay to put God in the back seat because you're in a really busy season right now. You're in sports, you're in music, whatever it is that you're involved in. You need to focus on that. Don't focus on God at all. Like God's still there, which he is, but Satan knows like, hey, if I can get you to focus on that, maybe I can get you to never focus on God again. And so we need to understand and then believe our identity. You see, it's not a power struggle, right? Like I said at the beginning, it's not a question of what our identity is, because our identity is already set. It's in Jesus. That's in stone. That's firm. That ain't going anywhere. It's not a power struggle. It's a truth struggle. The enemy can't do anything about your identity. Like that's actually set. But he can control to an extent whether or not you believe it. And so it's important that we understand the truth about who God says you are, who God calls you to be. And then from that, the final point for tonight, once we understand and believe our identity, we just need to live on mission. Live on mission to make Jesus greater. The purpose of our life as Christians is to glorify God. It's to glorify God, and there's actually this one like Christian organization that kind of sums up their mission statement and what they believe the Christian life is about. And they say this, that the purpose of humans, the purpose of man, is to glorify God by enjoying him forever. The purpose of man is to glorify God by enjoying him forever. The way that we glorify God, it's not just about following a set of rules, because at the end of the day, if all you're trying to do is follow rules, you're always going to fall short. And you're always going to be left empty. Like just following rules gets you nowhere. At the end of the day, it's about enjoying your relationship with Jesus, receiving fullness of life from Jesus, living in that deep, intimate relationship which brings that joy. And then from that comes everything else. And so for us, the question that I want to ask ourselves, the question I want you guys to ask yourself today is, how can I use the gifts, the talents, the passions that I have to glorify God and point people to Jesus? How can I use, like just think for a moment, right now, just wherever you're at. You guys are in the crowd, think. You guys watching at home, just think for a second. What are some gifts that you have? What is a talent that you have? What is a passion that you have? Like any of those things. And I know that everybody has at least one of those. Like maybe you don't think you're gifted. I promise you are. If I sat down with you, I could tell you how you're gifted. But everybody has a gift. Everybody has some kind of a passion. Everybody has a talent. And I want you to ask yourself, how can I use that to point people to Jesus? Maybe if you're a athlete, you can start to just invite some of your teammates to church. You can start a Bible study with some of your teammates. You can offer to pray before practice or after practice or before games. I actually, one of my students from a couple of years ago, he was trying to figure out how he could minister to the people on his football team. And so what he started to do is he would pray before practice every day for anybody that wanted to pray with him. And he only got a couple guys to do it. But after a while, people knew he was doing it every day, and so more and more people would join in. Eventually, he had the entire team that was praying with him every day. And then from there, he started to do a Bible study. And he's like, well, hey, on Tuesday nights, I'm going to start doing a Bible study. And if anybody wants to come, you can. If not, that's okay. And again, at first, only a couple people showed up. And then all of a sudden, he had like 20 people from the football team coming to this Bible study every Tuesday. And then finally, he started like, okay, well, how can I get them to church? I know. I'm going to invite them to play video games at the church after service is over, and we'll have pizza, and we'll play video games, and we'll watch football. And so that's what he did. And before he knew it, like almost the whole football team is coming to church, and they're eating pizza, and they're playing games. But it's all because he was asking himself the question, like, how can I use the gift of football that God has given me? How can I use that to point people to Jesus? And so I want you guys to just think about that. And more than that, I want you guys to pray about it. This is actually, believe it or not, this is a prayer that I pray every single day. Every single day I ask God, and I like lay out my passions and my talents as I'm praying. And I'm like, God, help me to see all the different ways that I can use, and I just list them all out. Help me to see the way that I can use these for you, because I don't want to ever get so caught up that I think it's about me and not about you, God. And so I think that's such a good thing for us. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to close in a time of prayer here, and then we're going to, like I said, we got our activity that we're going to do in a second, but I want to close this with prayer. So wherever you're at, just in just a comfortable position, whatever's comfortable for you. If you're just sitting there and you want to stay sitting, if you want to be on your knees, if you want to stand, whatever you want to do, just a position that's comfortable to pray. And we're just going to spend a moment here and close in some time with prayer and just seeking God's guidance and his wisdom. So why don't you guys bow your heads with me? Let's enter in the presence of God. Heavenly Father, we are so thankful that, God, that you are a God that brings and offers us fullness of life. And with that comes fullness of joy. Despite the circumstances of our life, we know that joy is not dependent on circumstances. The world can seem to be crumbling around us, and yet you still offer joy, because Jesus, in a world that's ever changing, you are never changing. And we're so thankful for that. God, we're thankful that you do bless us with gifts and talents and abilities. God, we're thankful that you want us to enjoy those, right? I hope that message hasn't come across, that you are a God that doesn't want us to enjoy things. You're a God that doesn't want us to have fun. Like that's so much the opposite, God. You have created so many things for us to enjoy, and you want us to enjoy them. But it's all about the perspective. It's all about priority. And so, God, I pray that we would identify the gifts and the talents that you've given us, and that, God, you would help give us guidance and wisdom and discernment on how we can use those. And so, God, I just want to take a brief moment of silence here for everybody who is praying right now and listening, that we would just take a moment and just you and God, just ask God that question. God, show me how I can use, and then just list out some of the stuff that you thought about when I was asking you to think about your gifts and talents. Ask him to show you how you can use those gifts to glorify him. So I'm going to give just a minute here. And God, I just pray for wisdom for each and every person, God, that they can start to see creative and innovative ways that they can leverage the things that they've been given, the positions that they've been put in, the platforms that they have for your good and for your glory, to point the people around them to you, Jesus, because at the end of the day, you must become greater, we must become less. And I pray above all else that everybody listening, that everybody in this room, that we would fully understand and believe the truth about our identity in you, Jesus, and who you call us to be, that we are valued, that we have incredible, immense value, so much value, Jesus, that you came to this earth, left your throne in heaven to die for us. That's the value that we hold. They're like not even a price that can be put on it, Lord, because you have gone to the greatest lengths in history to rescue us and to reconcile us to God. And so for the person maybe that's listening that believes that they don't have value, God, help them to see that that's just not true. For the person that believes that their identity is rooted in popularity and what people think about them. God, help them to realize that it doesn't matter what people think. God, it matters what you think. And you, God, you love us. You value us. And you give us purpose. I pray we see that. And so, God, we love you. We thank you for tonight. I thank you for all these amazing people that are watching and interacting. I thank you for the people that are here with us tonight. And, God, we pray especially that we get to meet in person next week, and that'll be awesome. We love you, and we pray, and we ask all this in Jesus' name. And everyone said, amen. I'm gonna pretend that I heard you guys all say it. Awesome. All right. So, put the mask on. Actually, I need another water. Hold on. I'm good. I still have half, actually. Okay. Here's what's happening, y'all. We are playing Will It Break? Oh, actually, can one of you guys put this back in its spot? I don't remember where it went, but do you remember where the bowl went? Kenzie knows. Okay, so here's what's happening. I'm going to move this because, well, actually, no, I can probably keep this. That's fine. So we're going to play Will It Break? So we have a number of 15, to be exact, of items that we're going to drop from the balcony to see if it's going to break or not. And you guys in the chat, we're going to let you know what the item is ahead of time. And then, so for you guys, I don't know if we said this or not. So when you grab the item, what you're going to do first is you're going to bring it up to here and hold it in front of the camera so they can see what it is. So that's okay. I just remembered it. So you guys will see it. They're going to walk up. We're going to hear from you guys, hear your thoughts and opinions, and see who thinks it's going to break or will it stay intact. Will it break or not? And then we'll count them down from 3. They're going to drop it, and we'll see what happens. So I think that's pretty well explained. Yeah. You guys have any questions? You ready to smash some stuff? Okay, hold on. I'm going to fix the camera really quick here because we're going to put it up just a little bit. I think that's probably good. If it's not, we will readjust. My head is in the way. My head's massive, dude. Holy cow.
Wow, that looks
I
like
got a
the
dome.
sun.
Okay. All right, so we are your hosts. We're going to bring the energy. Can we see the first item? Whoever's bringing over the first item. It looks like Caden is bringing the first item over. Caden, what do you have?
Right up to the camera.
Go ahead and hold up to the camera. It is a Coke bottle. This is an authentic Coke bottle. It actually has
a cup, not
cup?
a bottle.
Yeah, why did I say bottle?
That is
I
not
don't
a
know.
bottle.
It's not a cup. It's a glass.
This is a bottle.
That's a bottle. This is glass. We don't have a cup, but a Coke glass.
Fresh out.
Dollar Tree actually has these. So an authentic Coke glass. It's for $1. What do you guys think? Yes or no? Is the bottle going to... Gosh, I got to stop calling that.
Is the glass going to break?
Thank
That is
you.
the question.
Wait,
You're getting
can I
here. I
guess
look like
here?
a sun.
Yes. Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you guys think it's breaking?
I think it's gonna break. Oh gosh, I can't see myself.
Sorry,
I think it's gonna break.
you're kind of washed out, but that's okay.
This side. Nope.
All right.
No, I can't go.
All right.
Okay. Caden is up there. You guys can see Caden, yeah? Yeah, there he is. Okay. Yeah, step away from the splash zone. All right, Caden. Wait, hold on. Actually, before you do, let's see what we think. Shiloh says break.
What do you think, Nick?
Listen, I'm going to say no because last time we did this, there are some glass items that we had that didn't break, and I thought they would. And so I'm going to start off against the grain. Yeah. And yeah, we're seasoned vets. We know how this goes. Let's see. Ledger says easy shatter. It's gonna break immediately. Tegan says yes. Maya says yes. Everyone says it's gonna break. So yeah, we're gonna be the only ones right, and it's gonna feel great. Okay. All right. So, Caden, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, drop it! It did not break! Yes!
No
Let's go!
Are you kidding me?
It is still.
No. It was
This beautiful Coke glass is still in one piece, as you guys can see. It did not break. We're the only ones right here. You can have this.
No, I want to smash it.
No, don't smash it.
This is my
All
private joy.
So, Siler said go boom boom. Siler, it did not go boom boom.
I know, isn't it? I'm
No boom boom.
shocked.
All right.
Shocked, guys.
What is our next item? Look at this, dude. This
You're
is
like,
a
what is
beautiful. Yeah, what is that? It is a candlestick, right? That's. This
is a candlestick holder. Yeah. Okay. Here, can I grab this?
Candlestick holder.
Sorry. So what you do is you put the candle like in here.
Yes, and it's actually been used because you can see there's some wax, like There's
Yeah,
wax
when
like
we found
all
it,
over
we thought it
this.
was like spider web or something.
It's not.
I
It is
didn't
wax.
know what it
I
was.
picked off some of the wax so you can't see this.
It is. I don't know what is this wood?
Probably.
Wood. Okay.
It's
So-
antique.
The candlestick. What do you think? How not go boom? Why say lot word when few word do trick?
I love
For those
that
of you guys that get that reference, I'm proud of you. Okay, what do you guys think? Candlestick holder. I gotta keep calling it a holder because it ain't candlestick.
I think no.
Yeah.
And like,
I think it's gonna bounce
Wait,
back and
wait till we count you down. Okay, what do you guys think? We got some no's, no way. Hey, that's my grandma's. Hey, give it back. Well, hey, we have like 5 more. We have like 5 more of your grandma's candlesticks in here, so you better come get them. But you better hope that this one don't break. Siler is at a loss of words. He says no boom boom this time. All right, step away so they can see. All right, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, that.
Oh my god!
That sucker shattered.
Wow!
Yeah, it might. Maybe it wasn't wood. It felt woodish.
It's wood.
It felt like wood.
It's hollow.
So it is hollow inside.
Yeah,
Please do
right.
not cut yourselves. I don't. Yeah, you know what? Maybe it is ceramic.
or fiberglass.
Or yeah, he's coming up with all kind
It
of.
sounds like
I
an
don't know.
ornament. It sounds
See,
like an ornament.
it probably broke because it's hollow.
So Maya, apologize to your grandma for us because. No, that wasn't Maya. That was Lila. Sorry, Lila. Apologize to your grandma for us because that sucker is gone. Listen,
Who's next?
you're 2 for 2. I'm 2 for 2. Did any?
I guess.
I thought it was gonna bounce back and hit it in the face.
All right. Here we go. Oh, actually, you know what we need?
Oh, you have it.
Yeah.
We need a broom.
No, we
Oh
don't.
yeah.
We love people stepping.
We're
on
so
glass.
prepared, guys.
That hit my butt.
So I look like the sun. Why am?
There it all.
Hey, wait, somebody come here.
Can I bottle flip on your head?
Not right now.
Here's what we're doing.
Bottle flip.
No, not
We're just
that.
like, we're just screwing this up. Okay.
Oh
We're good.
god. We don't have a broom.
Okay.
Professional.
We're back.
There for it.
All right. What's our next item?
This is this little.
Where are you holding it up at? There you go.
Flashlight.
Flashlight.
With no batteries.
Has no batteries in it. That's a shame. All right. The flashlight. What do you guys think?
Flashlight
Yay
shatters.
or nay? You think the flashlight's going to shatter? This seems plastic, but I'm not sure.
Well, I think that part's
I think no. Maybe.
You say no. What do you guys think?
Actually, no.
You don't think it's going to... I think it's going to break.
I think it's gonna break too.
Yep. I think it's going to break for sure. What do you guys think in the chat? Yay or nay? Is the flashlight going to break?
No.
I love this.
Hang on there. Okay.
Here, give it a second.
Nope.
Not yet. Give it a second.
Nope. We're seeing no's across the board. Listen, if we're right on this, we take a big lead. That's
know,
3-0. A lot of no's coming up. A lot of no's. All right. I think we're ready. Let's see what happens.
Mic drop.
3, 2. It broke! Yes!
Wait.
It broke!
Wait, did the glass part break?
I think it broke.
Wait, what broke? Wait, I know something. Wait.
No, it bounced.
It did break! It did. That's exactly what happened. It did not break.
We were wrong.
No!
It bounced on a piece of the
Thank you for
candlestick
getting my
holder.
hopes
I know.
up.
Well, I
Really?
saw
Wow.
something fly,
Wow.
and I thought that was sad. All right, that one's alive.
Would you
Go.
like to keep the
It's
flashlight?
got dents, but it's not broken.
Would you like
Does
to
it?
keep the flashlight?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh yeah, it doesn't count. All right, let's see. Neigh like a horsey. What did I miss? Silas said no, go boom boom. Okay, so we're 2-1 right now. All right, Caden, what is the next item? Oh my gosh, please don't break it now. This is an original Xbox controller,
Whoa.
like the OG Xbox.
With the cord unattached.
Yeah, we cut the cord. This is an off-brand Xbox controller, but it works for an original Xbox. So, what do you guys think? Xbox controller, yes or no?
Yes, I think the
Game store.
I think yes.
What do you guys think?
Because it's off-brand.
Guys, I love this thing.
You wanted that yesterday at the Dollar Tree too.
I
So
did. I wanted this. So like,
it,
this is gonna.
it
I'm
was
gonna take
fate.
it home.
All right.
I'm gonna wash it.
what do we think? Tegan says no
I say yes.
on the.
It go boom boom.
Tegan says no. Curtis has adopted some of Siler's.
Wait.
Siler says
you
it.
think
Siler
that?
says it will go boom boom. Let's see. Maya says no. Listen, I'm not saying I know from experience, but these things definitely break. All right, so
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying that I've witnessed it happen, or that it's happened to me, but they can break. So let's see. It looks like it got 3D printed from the Dollar Tree. Yeah, it doesn't look the best. Oh, your sister says yes. Your sister says yes. So most people say no. I say yes. What do you say?
I say yes as well.
All right, Caden. I think we're. Oh, here, man.
First one.
Yep. Make sure you're not in the way. All right. 3, 2, 1. Drop it. I don't think it broke.
No, the back. Oh, those are buttons. No, from up here.
Wait, you gotta stop giving me false information.
I didn't say it that time.
No, from up here it looks like those were holes, not black holes.
No.
It did not break.
No, like that it was gonna shatter.
It did not break. The controller is in one piece, and it is not missing any buttons. So
Who wants to?
it still didn't break. That thing is indestructible. All right. Great. Look what I started. Now Curtis. Okay. All right, Curtis. What is the next item? My cousin, Lila says my cousin raged and threw it and it broke. So yeah, right. Like, listen, I barely dropped my controller and it broke, and this thing fell from 15 feet.
It's such a good off-brand controller.
Maybe it is, man.
That's what it is.
Yo, all right. Here's what we got.
This thing looks like it's already
We have a trophy. This is a beautiful trophy. The top is a little loose. The top is a little loose.
So are we gonna?
It's old.
If the top
Do
falls
you guys know
off,
what this is from?
does that count
Hey,
as breaking?
does anybody know what this is from? If you can tell me where this, what this trophy is, and like how you would win this trophy,
You get an extra
You
bonus
get-
point. You
you get brownie points for sure.
Or
Okay.
that,
There
and
you
not
go.
a bonus
If you can
point.
tell me, don't
All right.
don't say what it is.
Take it on up there.
Wait,
What do you think the trophy's for?
All right.
Yeah, what do you think it's for? You get brownie points.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, does anybody know what the trophy is for?
I do think it's gonna go.
Tyler says it go very boom boom.
Yes, sir.
Extra enthusiastic.
I want to see if people know.
I think it's going to
Do
go.
people know
my
what
We're
it is?
we're a little split. So Tegan says yes. Shyla says yes. We got a lot of yeses. We got a couple no's. I think yes. We're 0-2. We're 0-2 on the last two. We've been wrong about the last couple. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with it.
You think it's gonna break? All right. Asher, 3, 2, 1. Yes! Finally! That thing is gone. No one is receiving that trophy anymore.
Oh, and if you were right, it was for ice camp. That didn't really matter, but hey.
It was
To people who guessed Boys and Girl Scouts, no, it wasn't for that. It was for winning
Broom ball.
something. Yeah, broom ball at ice camp. You just.
This is what's left of the trophy.
Hey,
So,
I present
Curtis,
to you
stop
the
taking
award
everything.
of busting stuff.
What is
I'm
it?
having fun breaking it.
It's like a little shoe figurine. All right, there we
Hey,
go.
would you like this? I present
Thank
to
you.
the greatest award.
All right. All right, we got our award. Okay, so what are we now? 3 and 2.
I think so. We're doing
Okay.
pretty good.
All right.
Pretty good.
Next up, what do we got next? We are about halfway through our items, I believe. So I'm curious, those of you guys in the chat, playing the honor system, but how many of you guys gotten right and how many of you guys gotten wrong so far? I think I'm 3 right and 2 wrong. I think you're the same because I think we've had the same answers. Do you know what you are?
What?
Do you know how many you've gotten right and wrong?
1.
1 wrong or 1 right?
1 right.
1 right. So you're struggling right now. All right. The next item, Curtis, make sure you keep that on the tarp. That's what the tarp is for.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Kenzie just broke the thing way more. Okay, we have a beautiful thermoflask.
Wow.
So we don't actually know where this came from. We
From Costco.
we found it. Well, we know that, but we found this a long time ago, and no one's ever claimed it. So this is your thermoflask. I'm really sorry, but it's about to fall from 15 feet. And so
Fine.
obviously the thermoflask isn't gonna like break in half because it's like pretty hefty. But if it dents, if there becomes a major dent in the flask, we're gonna count that as breaking. So, do you think the flask is going to dent or break? Yes or no? You may
Well,
proceed.
depends.
Beeman, what's up?
Huh?
Can I drop it like this?
Sure. Drop it however you
Then
want.
it dents.
Drop it like it's hot.
Drop it however you want. However you think it's gonna drop. Okay. So again, will it break or will it dent? Beeman, what's up? To Beeman, I don't know if you've been in here for a long time, but I just now saw you. So
I
what's
sat for
good?
you. I'm better friends with him.
Siler said, I just like watching stuff go boom.
Same,
Mel
man.
said it's going to be very loud. Cover your ears. A lot of people are saying no. Eli changed his answer to yes. Shyla says yes. Okay, so here we go. Silas says it go Kersplat. All right. We've moved on from boom and Kersplat is the new thing. All right. We'll see. 3, 2, 1, drop it!
Oh, dang.
That thing sounded solid. I don't even know if it's dented.
It did down.
Did it?
It did down. Nah.
No, this dent was already here, actually.
Yeah.
This thing is the real deal. So if you're watching from home and you realize, holy crap, I've been missing my hydro flask for like 6 months, and this is yours, you can still thermoflask. You can still come and claim this because it's in one piece. Congratulations. All right.
Okay.
What do we got next? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Next is the.
It's the PS3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am so pumped. Again, not a working PS3, but it is in one piece.
It definitely won't be working after this.
Yep.
Hopefully.
It is in one piece. So, what do you guys think? Is the PS3 going to break?
Personally, I think it's gonna go and shatter.
You think it's going to shatter?
It's gonna get demolished.
What do you think, Asher? You think yes? What do you think?
I really want to throw this.
Break in 3 pieces.
You think? Oh, getting specific. You think 3 pieces? All right. What do you think?
I have no idea. We're gonna find out.
I think. Well, you got to make a guess.
I think it's gonna break.
Okay, I think it's going to break too. All right. We all say break. I think everybody in the chat says break. If this thing doesn't break, that's going to be amazing.
I'm gonna actually.
All right.
This thing doesn't break. You need to go out and buy.
I am so excited about this.
I'm at 3 big pieces, not like all the small.
Even though it's broken.
The PS3, set it free. 3, 2, 1, drop it. No shot.
No.
Wait, you should have had one that does work.
Do you? No, something came off of it.
I don't think it did.
Wait, how many pieces is that?
All right, what is that? Is that from this?
Yeah.
Do we count that?
I think so.
Where is it from?
Oh, that's like a copy it. 1, 2, 3.
Wait, you know what? It did kind of break, but you know what? I really want to see what this is like because I've never gotten to do this.
Flame it down. Flame it down.
Put it on its side.
Like this?
Yeah, like that.
All right.
To the corner.
Oh, dude, this is way cool.
Yeah.
This is what I've been missing out on?
Yes, you have.
This is awesome. All right, count me down.
Chuck it.
3, 2, 1,
go.
That was amazing! It didn't break, but...
No, that did something. That did something for sure.
Yeah, no, it definitely broke.
It's split in half.
Yeah, in case you guys can't see, this sucker definitely broke.
What happened to it?
It's.
Oh, yeah, it opened up.
Wait, can we drop it another time?
Can I?
Go one more. All right.
Let's spin it.
I don't know why we're repeatedly
yeah.
doing this. I mean, it's going in the trash,
not?
so...
Yeah, but why not?
Curtis,
Spin it.
finish.
Like, yeah, like flip it. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Well, that did
That time it
something.
definitely broke.
Yeah.
Wait, you think I can hold it for a second? I just want to.
All right. Okay, so we've lost a couple pieces. I don't know what this thing is.
That's the power button. Here's a button.
Oh, yeah, that is the power button. Okay. Next item. What we got next? Ooh, salt and pepper shakers. Okay. So, these are glass salt and pepper shakers. This one's pepper. This one's salt. Remember that. Salt, pepper. What do you guys think? Do you think they'll break? Do you think one of them's going to survive? Do you think both of them survive? Do you think both of them break? What do you think? Salt and pepper shakers. Here we go. Let's see what you guys think. I'm curious to see how many people
What do you think, Nick?
say they have in the chat. I don't think they're going to break. I don't think either of them will break.
Now it's
Yeah,
broken.
What are your thoughts?
I think you're right. I think
Do them one at a time, Ashley.
I think they're so condensed. Like
at the same time.
I think there's
Okay,
no. Let's do one. Let's do one first.
Oh,
Yeah.
I lied. Do one at a time.
Okay, hold on. We're seeing. Let's see. Silo thinks they'll break. Tegan says no. Eli says yes. Beeman says yes. So mostly yeses here. What do you think,
I
Curtis?
think the salt one will break, but the pepper one won't.
Okay. Why is that? Do you have any
Because
theory
the salt
behind
one
that?
has more holes, and so air gonna rush in and go boom.
Okay.
Even though it's not a bomb.
Yeah, but this one has.
Okay.
That's just one big.
Lila says. Lila
doesn't
says
get
they're not going to break. Lila, I think you're onto something. All right.
It's not.
Oh, never
Drop the
mind.
salt one first.
Wait, it's not.
What's the difference? Just
The salt one is in your right hand. Yep. Okay. Ready. The salt is going in 3, 2, 1. Salt survives.
Right, don't.
The salt has lived. So if anybody thought the salt was going to live over pepper, you are correct. No boom, Siler. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
It's
All right.
not Eli.
The pepper. 3, 2, 1. The pepper also survived. Man, those didn't even seem to break. It's not Eli. Oh, my bad, Elliot. Sorry.
Hey, I got half of it right, okay? I got half of it.
You got half? Okay. So we said they weren't going to break. Let's go. All right, what is our next item? It is a Nerf gun. This is actually one of the Nerf guns that's been in our office. It actually is broken in the sense that it does not work, but it's still in one piece. And so we're going to see if it actually breaks into multiple pieces. So what do you guys think? Nerf gun, yay or nay? Is the Nerf gun going to break?
I'm blown away.
No?
I'm blown away at what stuff has been
No, I
broken.
don't
Or what
think so.
has.
I'm blown away that the PS3 took 3 tries to really actually break.
See, if we were like throwing it down, it definitely would have smashed.
I'm also surprised that I for sure thought that the controller was going to break without a doubt.
Yeah.
I thought that something would pop off from the controller.
I think it's because when people get mad and they throw it with force, but when you drop it, it just doesn't have the same
That's
effect.
true. Okay, so here we go. We got the Nerf gun. Will it break? Most people are saying no. Most people think the Nerf gun is pretty solid. I actually don't think it's going to break either. I feel like it's pretty compact.
Nerf has got their stuff in mind. They know
Yeah,
what they're doing.
Nerf knows who their target audience is. They know little kids are going to rage and throw those guns across the room, so they can't break right
once
away.
I mean, what are they going to do once they run out of bullets?
That's true. All right. Is that what you do? I'm never getting a Nerf war with you. You just throw your gun at people?
I mean,
That sounds dangerous.
I mean, you don't really share secrets, but maybe.
All right. Here we go, Caden. Nerf gun drops in 3, 2, 1. That thing is solid.
Looks pretty, yeah.
I think that could still be used if it weren't actually broken on the inside. No, we have not. We're getting ready to.
That's the point.
All right, what's that? Can you try chucking it down? Give it a shot.
Yeah, go ahead.
Get it because you're holding a Nerf gun. Give it a shot.
Oh, you're
Shoot it.
so funny.
All right.
No shot.
Attempt number 2 to Nerf gun, just for kicks. 3, 2, 1. Chuck it. It's still in one piece. That thing. Okay, so we know. We now have. I feel like this is a science experiment.
Wow.
It rattles a little bit though. You definitely shook something loose. All right. Who's got our next item? What is it?
So, we got this here glass
This
jar. It's got some pretty designs on it.
Okay.
But I think it's going to break.
You think it's gonna break?
It's glass. I mean, not really many of the glass things have broken. But
All right. Yeah, that's true. We're what are we? The only glass thing we've thrown so far? No, both glass things we've thrown haven't broken.
No, all.
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
yeah.
Dollar Tree's glass is just something unique. to
Right.
it.
Yeah. Listen, y'all are paying way too much for glass, man.
Their
Who's your glass
plastic
guy?
toys, not very good, but their glass things.
That's true. All right. What do you guys think? The glass jar, is it going to break? Curtis, make sure you do drop it glass side down. I think we talked about that already.
No, I didn't.
All right. Let's see if anybody's learned. Siler said it's thick.
That's my brother for you in a nutshell. Like,
The glass. I don't know if he's talking about the glass or the Nerf gun. I think he's talking about the glass.
no,
Siler
he
says
was talking
boom.
about. He was talking about the thing before that. What
I think he needs
was before that?
Wait,
The Nerf
how
gun.
did he
No,
spell
but before
that?
the Nerf gun.
I don't know.
Oh, I think he was talking about. I don't know.
Okay. Most people are saying the glass is going to break. What do you think?
I think it's not gonna break. I'm going.
Nope.
I
No,
don't
I think-
actually know. You know
I
what?
don't think any of them are gonna break.
I'm changing it. I'm going. I think it's gonna break. It's gonna. The glass is gonna break. Here
No,
it
it's not.
goes.
I don't think it is.
Curtis,
I'm scared it's not going to, though.
3, 2, 1, break it! Yes! That thing broke
Wow.
into a million different pieces. Congratulations, everybody that said it was gonna break. You were correct. You were not.
I know.
This is what's left in the
Hey,
bottom.
bro, don't pick up broken glass, dude. Get.
My fingers are in the middle.
Give me that.
I know what I'm doing.
You remember what happened last time? I cut my whole hand.
I'm a
All right.
broken glass professional.
Oh, wait.
All right.
Wait, is the glass gone? Sorry.
Is the glass what? Oh, actually, I don't know which one's next. That's next. Okay, we have another. Actually,
No, that's.
I don't.
Oh, wait, this is next.
That's next.
We should do that
Oh,
we're gonna do
No.
that one.
We're gonna switch it up. Okay, this next item is also one of my favorites, guys. We have a computer monitor. This is a let's see what brand is this? HP computer monitor.
This is the on button.
This is old school, so this is basically a square computer monitor. That's how you know it's old, because they don't really come in that shape anymore. Again, it does not work like all the other electronic stuff that we have dropped so far. Does not work, and listen, I'd be lying if I said that this is not like something that I've always wanted to drop from a far distance to see if it breaks. Like this, TVs, anything that's like heavy with a screen, I've always wanted to know if it would break. And now we get to find out. Actually, Asher gets to find out, but we get to watch. So what do you guys think? Shyla, how many points do you guys have? Where are you guys at? I think I have 5 right.
I got like 2.
I think I have 5 right so far. I'm pretty proud of that.
I've already lost at this point.
What do you guys think? Is the Avery, what's up? Welcome. You are here just in time. You're getting ready to see if a computer monitor is actually going to break when we drop it or not. Most people are saying break. What do you think, Kenzie?
I think it's going to break.
Yeah, I don't see any way that this thing actually survives. Tegan says boom, and then he says nope, so I'm not sure. And now he says 7, so I feel like I am like in National Treasure trying to decode secret messages
No,
or
7
something.
is how many they got right.
I'm gonna be an underdog here.
I'm trying to discover.
I've already lost, so I might as well.
Listen, it just seems so. I forget that there's such a delay, and so I see all these messages, and then I just see numbers, and I'm like, why are there numbers? You guys really have 7? You guys are impressive.
Yeah, good job,
I
All
might as well. It's not gonna break. I don't know what to do.
Do I just have it sitting up here and then I push it down? Or just
Sure.
Whatever floats your boat.
Sure, yeah.
Drop it.
Whatever you want to do.
Drop it screen down.
Or you could kind of like toss it up a little bit and then let it, like, don't toss it toward us, but just like up and over. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you toss it toward us, that could be bad. All right. Here we go. The computer monitor. 3, 2, 1. 110%. Yes. That thing is. Let's see. Let's give you a little bit of a. Boom, baby.
The screen didn't break.
The screen didn't break? No. The screen. Oh, okay. I mean, it kind of broke. Like the screen got punctured. Here, let's see. Here we go. I don't think we're good. This is what. Oh gosh, we just lost.
You want to play soccer?
This is what is left of the computer monitor. So a nice little puncture. Kenzie now has a frame.
You guys should.
So that was awesome. Everything I hope the dream did. Here you go, monitor. Didn't really break anymore.
Wait, you should keep the frame of that for like. We all have photos.
Little photo shoot frame. Yeah. Instagram filter.
But like.
All right. I think pretty much everyone got that right. I don't think anybody said that was actually not going to break. So, huh?
no.
Someone did say no?
Yeah, that was me.
Who said no? Curtis said no? Curtis.
Nobody said no.
Elliot's dad said the screen will shatter, which it didn't really shatter. It just got punctured. Okay. Here we go. Our next thing is a bowl. This is a beautiful rosy red ceramic bowl from Dollar Tree. What are some things that you could do with this bowl, Kenzie?
You could put a salad in it.
Okay. Daniel Fast approved. You could put some soup in it. Maybe Daniel Fast approved, depending on the soup.
Cereal.
You could drop it off the balcony. Absolutely, you could. You could put Lucky Charms all day, every day. Put some Lucky Charms. Put some Fruity Pebbles in there.
Knock it off the counter with your elbow.
Knock it off the counter with your elbow. I've done that. Yeah, that's an unfortunate thing.
I dropped a plate in the sink and it split in half.
We're about to knock it off
Apparently they weren't Dollar Tree.
You're getting your plates from the wrong place. All right, here we go. Caden is walking the bowl up, and we're gonna see what happens to the bowl. How many items we got left here? 2? Oh boy, it's getting real. 2 items left. Avery says it will live. She thinks it's going to live.
I think it's going to
Lila says that's also her grandma's. Lila, I'm so sorry. Like I didn't realize we were taking all your grandma's stuff. I feel so bad. Most people say Kersplat. It looks like Siler has now gotten people to say boom and It be gone. Give it life. Avery is determined that this thing is going to live.
I think
it's going to shatter.
This thing's going boom.
It's going down. What'd you say?
You're gonna make it realistic.
You're going to knock it off with your elbow?
Yeah, just kind of walking out.
I feel like I should give you some cereal. Okay, the bowl dies in 3, 2, 1. Knock it off. The bowl is gone. All the pieces. And Curtis stomped on it for good measure, so I do not approve that. Curtis, any injuries that may occur are your own doing, not mine. All right. The bull did not live. This next item, I'm actually super curious about this. So, Curtis, show us what you have here, sir.
This is a bowling pin.
Hold it up so the beautiful people can see.
And not get super...
We have a bowling pin. So this is actually, like this is an authentic bowl. These things are heavier than you actually expect them to be. Like, yeah, if Kenzie wanted to knock me out, 1,000%, it would put me out cold. Like, this thing is heavy.
Should we test that?
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of like strategic thinking behind this because bowling balls are heavy, and bowling balls hit these things at pretty fast rates. So, do you really think dropping it's going to break it?
I think it depends on where you drop it.
Okay, interesting choice. Interesting thoughts. A lot of people are saying nope. So, by the way, what we're going to consider is breaking for this because I don't expect this to break in half. However, if there is a chip, like a decent-sized chunk that comes out of it, we are going to consider that breaking.
Let's just be clear, though. There's already a little chip up at the top and one down here.
So those chips do not count. I feel like we're looking at a rent-a-car right now. Like, we're looking around like, okay, let's see.
Also, this is
that's dinged up, that's dinged up. Okay, if it comes back with anything more, you owe me a lot of money. All right, Curtis, take it up there. Let's see. It will just go boing. I'm going to be honest, Shyla. We're actually kind of worried about it going boing. So
we're dropping it. Okay, this is fine. We're dropping it this way, but this side is so heavy, it's just going to end up going like
it's going to turn. So we're going to see if Kenzie or I get knocked out, remember us and hold a really nice memorial for us because this is going to hurt.
Definitely standing back for this one.
All right. Most people don't think it's going to break. Avery says, Curtis, stop being extra. And people think it's going to go boing. Maya says it is going to break some, so we'll see. All right, Curtis, are you ready? Drop in the bowling pin. Okay.
I don't need that.
You go, okay.
So, the bowling pin, it went boing a little bit, but it didn't break. There's not any larger of a chip out of this thing. I almost dropped it. About broke my laptop there. But, I mean, this thing is like, that's solid.
That's my bowling pin.
Solid. All right. Move the bowling pin out of the way. Guys, it is time. Stop smashing glass. Get over here.
I smashed the bowl.
Do what Avery said. Stop being extra. Get off the tarp.
It's me, okay? I want
All right.
fun.
The last item is the one that I'm most excited about because it's definitely the heaviest. It's the biggest. It is a computer tower. An HP computer tower. It has its full parts inside. So, I mean, it is full of parts that a computer would normally hold. It just doesn't work anymore because it's super old. And so it was going to get thrown away. But how blessed are we that instead of throwing it away immediately, we get to throw it off a balcony first. So that's what we're going to do. So, last chance. What do you guys think? Will it break? Will it survive? I think that's actually what the game was called before, like Will It Survive? And we changed it.
I think we changed it.
We did change it.
It was Will It Survive? Wow.
And then now it's Will It Break? Okay, so will it survive? We're bringing it back. The computer tower. Oh, they're going all three of them. What do you guys think?
I think it's going to break.
I think it's going to break. Siler says easy dub, go boom. Avery says yes. Just kind of sounded that out.
Avery says death as well.
Death to the computer tower. Really just seeing Avery and Siler in the chat here, so they're very passionate about their computers. Siler, you're a computer guy, so I'm sure that this is something that you've always wondered. Like, man, what happens if my computer would fall off of my desk 15 feet below me? And you're about to find out.
Who doesn't think about that?
I know. I think about that with like anything heavy. I'm like, man, what would happen if I drop this? Maya says survive, although she's not very sure about it. Question mark. Yeah, survive? Survive. Tegan says bye-bye. Avery still says death. Bip is in the chat. I didn't know Bip was here. Bip says it's going to die as well. All right. What do you guys think, by the way?
Break.
Break? All right.
Flat.
Here we go. The computer tower lives or dies in 3, 2, 1. Drop it! The computer tower is gone! It's out of here!
I just tripped on that.
Did you see how much dust came out of that?
So much dust. What did we lose? We lost the whole front of it.
Whoa, I want to look inside one of these things.
We lost the front.
I
the side of it. The computer tower is done for. If you were hoping to restore this, it is beyond restoration. I can't wait to go back and look at that replay. Bring the computer tower over here, fellas.
I want the wheel.
Let's see, yeah. People keep commenting about the dust, so I'm actually really excited to see what the dust was like. So,
It's like
I want this
blind, guys.
for those of you,
Can you see like the dust if I were to move?
oh, that's gross.
Oh my god.
That's so you can see some of the dust. You know what? Just because I want to, Kenzie, do you want to help me throw this over because I feel like we deserve some joy too. All right, we're gonna throw this off because why not? All right, here we go. Computer tower part 2. This could actually be even cooler because it has all the parts exposed. You hold that part? Yep.
I want
Count
that
us down,
wheel
fellas.
inside. 3, 2, 1, go. My
Here we
wheel!
go, even more!
I got my wheel! Let's go! It goes spin, spin.
That's a fan.
I got my fan, look. Spin, spin.
Wait, is that a fan?
I don't know. It's.
Wow!
I don't know.
All right, wow, we
Ow! Oh my gosh, all the dust. I don't want
so that's a fan. All right.
that.
Wait, did this?
That's mine.
Huh? That did not chip. That's in one piece.
What's
All
that?
right.
Like a flashlight?
All right, guys. Well, hey, I'm curious. How many did you guys get right? I have no idea how many I actually got right. Do you?
I don't know.
I feel like I'm at like 8 or 9 mark, but
I got whatever you got,
we
minus one.
we had 15. So I feel like I probably got 11
Oh
or
my
12
God.
right, actually. So hey,
I want to smack this thing.
that is it for tonight. So we hope you guys had fun. We hope you guys were encouraged by the word from John. Again, don't forget tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. we're going to be meeting on Zoom for just a short Bible study. It's not going to last a super long time, but we just wanted to find more ways to interact and get together with you guys. And so you guys can join us on Zoom. Again, the Zoom code, the ID, the password, that's going to be sent out in a little bit here via parent email. That way you guys have, excuse me, I have the hiccups all of a sudden. I never get the hiccups.
Wow.
That way you guys can have that info. We'll be talking about the first 5 chapters of John. Again, if you haven't read John, you're more than welcome to join us, although you may not have a whole lot to contribute. But you are still more than welcome to be with us because we just love you guys and want you guys to be there. So Bible study tomorrow, youth group in person next week, and I think that's it. Anything else, guys? Curtis is trying to hit a water bottle with a bowling ball. Oh, the controller did break a little bit, but not a ton. But it's coming apart.
I can help break it.
Oh gosh!
Oh, dear.
All right, Curtis. That way.
Batting
That way.
practice.
No. You come here. You're hitting it that way. Actually, no. You know that's a terrible idea because you're going to hit one of the lights. Just smack it down. Smack it down. Here you go.
Oh.
There you go. All right.
Still didn't do anything.
I hope you guys have an amazing night. Thank you guys so much for hanging with us. We appreciate and love every single one of you. You're awesome. And we cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow, those of you guys that hang out, and especially all of you next Wednesday right here, this very room. It's going to be great. So